Who are some of the classic rock bands that you admire?
The Yardbirds, The Who, Jimi Hendrix, Blue Cheer, some of the garage bands of the 60s, and you go into the 70s when you kind of went into bands like Black Sabbath at 1970, and then moving onwards into things like Humble Pie and Lynyrd Skynyrd, and then on the fringes you would have had the prog rock movement when you had bands like Yes and Genesis and Van der Graaf Generator, bands like that were all kind of like out at the same time, but they weren't. They were kind of more the prog feel, but they coexisted. They played a lot of the same areas together. And then as you kind of progressed into the mid to later 70s, you would have had things that, Humble Pie would have still continued, but then you kind of had the rise of bands like, Thin Lizzy that kind of broke out in 1976, and Blue Oyster Cult and bands like that were sort of a little bit later into the 1977, 60, between, I'd say, 73 to 77, and then you kind of go 77, and when the whole world got turned upside down with the punk movement, and a lot of those bands went out of, faded away, especially the prog bands and the original AOR bands faded away for a while, but still had a good business. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I can't do the mid to and early 70s without mentioning Kiss, because they were so influential on a generation. And I think for the UK, they had a lot of the working man's bands as well out there. You had like Rory Gallagher, and then AC/DC. Also, I don't have to mention AC/DC.
Hey, thanks for watching. My name is Daniel Sarkisian. I'm an independent filmmaker from Toronto.